Second game on Black Forest. We got Actual Beatle in blue as the Khmer, and Wolf of the North in orange as the Britons. Now, we've seen Wolf of the North has a little bit of a penchant towards Archer rushing, no matter what civ he's on. I think Archers got banned in the first game, or Britons got banned in the first game. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. I think I was the one. I think if I remember correctly, I was the one that banned them, just because I thought let's just get it out of the way. I figured, okay, let's make it available for the second round. So
yeah, understandable. As we know, if a civ is banned by either player in one round, it can't be banned again. So I guess if you want to take control of that process, do a little bit of a mind game, then you know that they're ready for the next game. So Black Forest, we expressed some surprise in the previous stream last Friday that there was only one choke point in the game between Silly Seth and Koala Kush. I've watched quite a few Black Forest games since then. Actually, it is the most picked map in this entire tournament as well. And pretty much all of them do just have the one choke point. That's kind of the signature of the 1v1 Black Forest. So interesting to see how that will play out. We have Actual Beatle over here with the pigs again. And Wolf of the North under the town center, a little bit more optimized there. Instant lumber camp. This guy knows how to get what he wants, I think. He's had a little bit of practice. Love to see the orange color come out. Any color other than red or blue. Maybe slightly less I don't know, like accessible to colorblind crowd out there. I don't know. But I'm a fan. I like to see the variety. She the Distance in the chat. Welcome. Guess I haven't played much 1v1. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a niche, you know? The 1v1 ladder, the 1v1 games, not for everybody, not all the time, but...
The layout on this map really threw me off because I think I spent at least 10-15 minutes actually looking for him. I thought he would have been like directly across from me on the very bottom right side. I think I passed him at least two or three times. I did not think he was going to be directly to the left of me.
Yeah, that is an interesting thing to note there.
And I think my reasoning for that was, again, I'm coming from, like Command and Conquer, and usually the map placement on that is going to be your opponent's going to be directly across from you, regardless of the map. And I thought that was the case here, where if I'm not going to be, top corner, he's going to be in the bottom corner. So I was not expecting him to be to my immediate left, and I was panicking because I thought if I can't find him, if I don't know what he's doing, I'm not going to be prepared for it.
Yeah, it is going to vary a lot, especially Black Forest. That's an interesting little insider tidbit there. Cameron, did you know that you have picked the Britons 73% of the games that you've played in this tournament series?
I did not know that. I mean,
To be fair, they are at 17% for all players, which is by far the highest.
Yeah, I mean, they're a really good civ. Just Broken Mechanics, Command and Conquer would never do this. Oh my gosh.
He's here. Soccer's over.
Soccer's over. He's here, boys. He's here to offer his thoughts. But yeah, I mean, go ahead.
I'm just looking at some civ bonuses. The Britons, we got the Longbowmen, we got villagers gathering sheep faster. That's why I'm zoomed out on the map. Sorry, you're going to have to bear with me there for a little bit. Khmer, we've got ballista elephants, we've got a strong castle age rush, and we've got no buildings needed for the next age, which is, I think, definitely one of the reasons why our guy is picking the Khmer here. Definitely favor the Khmer on this map over the Britons, just because there's a single the Britons, I believe, generally do go for the Archer Fuel Age Rush, at least to start things off. And this can really interrupt that, especially if the opponent builds any kind of like wall in this one spot here. Then it turns into just a defensive who can either break through here or outboom the other player. And the Khmer definitely have a much better timing for that. But, I think we have established in game one, unfortunately, it's going to be player diff here and not civ diff, so... Oh, it's too cold for soccer. You hate to see it. Yeah, I turned on my space heater today for the first time this year.
Yeah, I actually don't think you caught it, Tyler, but I think I had a villager die to a boar earlier.
Oh, you're snitching. I would have
I
even
was
just passed it.
No, it's fine. I mean, it was a. I mean, I was as I was scouting, I was trying to figure out where I need to go, what to do, and then I heard you've been under attack, and I looked and my villager died. I was trying to bait the boar, and I forgot about it once I'm panicking with the scout.
Yeah, I do see now you still haven't found him. That's a really interesting position.
Yeah, I did not think he was going to be to my immediate left. It was certainly a bit of a shock. I think I do end up
Meanwhile,
finding him at this point.
Actual Beetle hasn't even bothered to scout whatsoever. I will note for the players in the chat, etc. There is an auto scout feature now in Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. You can just toggle that on, and your scout will automatically walk around the map and look for everything. Definitely not the efficient or galaxy brain thing to do, but if you are lacking the APM or the knowledge or the interest in scouting, that is one opportunity, one option for you to just give you a little bit more of a bonus at this level of gameplay. But we do have the boar pull from Actual Beatle. Always surprising us, this guy. He does know how to do it.
That's a good placement, right in the center, right in his town center.
Yeah. Both of the North now hitting Age 2. And I'm expecting to see, unless we have the script being flipped at all, or anything from, for example, not being able to find the enemy.
Yeah, that was partially it. I felt really behind in this game. I thought my first game was better than this one. I felt very far behind.
So far, the idle TC time is definitely better for you this game, comparably at least. I do expect to see an archery range coming up at some point.
Beatle playing on controller? Oof. Oof.
You know? I can't verify it. If he is, he's being really accurate with these boar clicks. Got a mining camp on the corner here. Something also, quick tip for those mining camp placers in the chat. Actually, in Age 2, counterintuitively, it is generally more efficient to put it one tile away from the resource that you're mining. Not as much for lumber camps because you wear away the front line a lot faster, but especially if you're planning on putting a lot of villagers there, it's better to put it one tile away just so that it you don't get too many people crashing into each other mining the same tile. There's the fuel age for Actual Beetle, taking advantage of that. Oh, actually, I think he didn't even need it this time. He had the mining camp.
As soon as that came up, I definitely started panicking because I didn't have anything ready at the time. I wasn't sure what to expect.
Yeah, I mean, one thing you can always do, it's not too expensive. It's not going to slow you down much. You probably, could consider it pretty mandatory on a map like this. Just put a couple palisades in the middle here, just to keep it locked down.
I think this is where I end up finding him.
Oh, you still haven't found him. That's got to be
and
very...
and I think as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, is he really right next to me? Are you kidding me?
And here he comes with... Is that a force drop off? I think they just are all coincidentally. Yeah, that's very close distance.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I was... I thought, are you kidding me? He's really just right next to me. I spent looking all over the right side of the map, and I couldn't find him. And then I found out he was just to the left of me. I couldn't believe it.
Very nice placement on this mill for taking the ibex, the deer here, but it looks like he's decided to just go for the bushes instead. Could have been a little bit more of a food boost there, but it is what it is. Now we have that archery range, so you had to find the enemy first, and then you're ready to put the archery range on him.
Yeah, I probably should have made it first regardless. I also wanted to get the what is it? The crap, I can't even think of the name. The blacksmith up as well, so I could get those upgrades as soon as possible.
Yeah, definitely. If you're going for the early push, or whenever you're fighting, or whenever you're preparing to fight, that's when you want to drop the blacksmith and start getting the relevant upgrades. Yeah, so this is definitely a good play if you're investing in the feudal age fight.
Yeah, thinking about it now, looking at it, my building placements are really bad, especially if I wanted to be efficient with the fields, because you have that one house that's right in the middle to the left of the town center. I can kind of ruin that efficiency, so I did not place that well.
Sure. I mean, it's alright. One other thing you could do here is build a couple of houses across the middle, across the gap.
Oh yeah, as a gate if I wanted to.
House walling in general is something that a lot of players in AOE2 do.
Make another choke point.
Yeah. So I'm not seeing any villagers on food for you here.
Yeah, I know that was what I knew I needed to get going with the fields as soon as possible. That's why I felt behind, just because I knew I was behind on food. I knew I was really behind on getting that that part of my economy going.
Okay, understandable.
Yeah. So again, this was a game I definitely felt very far behind in.
Yeah. We did miss a couple of pigs and one boar up here.
The boar.
You can be assured pretty much every map you get at least 2 boars. So
yeah, see,
just keep an eye out.
He's already getting units out as well, so I'm definitely.
So yeah, we're seeing some preemptive archers over here from ActualBeatle.
Should have been sending more over as well.
I've noted down Spirit of the Law grades for every category for every civ. The Chimera archers C+, Britons archers A. Just a little tidbit.
Nice.
Looks like we have fletching now and padded archer armor for orange. So you're ready to go. Got all those feudal age upgrades. And now moving out. Also, you're saying you were struggling for food earlier. These ibex definitely could just take a meal.
Yeah,
or you could push them in with your scout towards this mill.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of things that I need to be taking advantage of.
But yeah, I like where your head is at right now, and I like seeing like how much you're thinking about every move you make. It's really cool. All right, let me see if I can. There we go. On the bottom left, we've got the military, and I think the numbers diff and also the upgrades there is going to be what changes that. Maybe. I mean, it is quite effective here, and I guess you can't do siege until castle anyways. So you're not really going to be able to take down buildings regardless. So this is definitely just the right thing to do here. Maybe a little slow, but
yeah, I definitely wasn't. I wasn't necessarily efficient with my attacking on the buildings or getting more units out.
The odd placement of the spawn points is definitely.
Yeah, that definitely threw me off.
It's definitely something.
That was unexpected.
So let's see. We've got the KD bottom right. ActualBeatle with 1 kill. I assume that's one of these archers was picked off earlier. I think I see a body over there.
I think there was one archer he had that I didn't see, and it was taking me out. So
6 deaths. Wolf of the North 6 kills, 2 deaths. One of those obviously the villager from the boar earlier, but clearly not making too much of a difference. ActualBeatle still does have the villager advantage here, and is gathering. Well, I don't know if they're. I don't know. They have more resources in the bank, which, you know, good sign or not. Good job camping on this production facility here. Just makes it so that they can't ball up any amount of units.
Yeah, at this point I should be sending some more units over because obviously I have the advantage, and again I'm sitting on these resources. I'm not using them.
ActualBeatle looks like just sent their scout to the top here and then never looked at it again. There's the town bell. One thing to notice also, the Chimera can garrison villages and houses. So pretty resistant to the raiding. You can also do it without hitting the town bell. You can just manually garrison them in there. If you want to be a little more selective with it. That might take a little bit more actions per minute. Though, and I believe also they... I'm tabbing again. Farmers don't need to drop off at a mill or a gather point. They just continuously farm and trickle in the food. So you can put farms anywhere with the Chimera. They do work 5% slower though as a consequence. So Actual Beetle doing something right, some of the right things here, and Garrus, setting the gather point for that to under the TC. If I was in his shoes right now, I would like to see more archery ranges or cav stables, because right now he's got 30 things queued in this one archery range, and the real bottleneck is not resources, it's not having enough production buildings, which is something that can be easily changed. Also, the Town Bell, while effective at preventing villager deaths right now, is also just completely murdering your entire economy when it doesn't need to be. So you can just try a little bit more to micro specifically what you need to avoid getting killed. Definitely not enough army here to fight this either, but it is what it is. I think Wolf of the North, now with the villager advantage as well, definitely looking like he's in a good spot here. Has 900 food, almost enough, just a little bit more gold to go to Castle Age as well.
That's what I was waiting for, I think, and again, I'm still not making more archers.
Yeah, something to definitely consider is just trying to balance everything so that you can constantly produce villagers and constantly produce military units, regardless of what they are. I like to see the 2-3 ones in the queue at a time and not too many, like eating up resources just sitting there being in the queue. That's definitely something that I kind of ignore a lot of the time and just like spam shift click a bunch of things into the queue, which is something that I could personally improve on. Controversy, good to see you. We've got huge content all night. We're going until like 12 o'clock tonight. Beastie Cutie. We might see him when we get to that age 4 game, you never know.
Gonna be a good night, boys.
Now we have a second archery range, love to see that. Obviously, could have gone down earlier, doesn't really matter too much though. We're also going up to Castle Age as well. For Orange. As far as idle TC time, looking pretty good for Orange comparatively here. Obviously Blue's been under pressure for about 10 minutes in game by now, so it's getting a little bit stressful, a little bit wearing. He is making the right units now. Okay, he was with these skirms, now switching to archers, unfortunately. You're not going to out-archer the Britons, but skirmishers might make a difference here. I'd like to see you're standing over here, you walked around, Orange walked around to the bottom to the lumber camp a little bit, and I'd like to see more, some more buildings and some more action from Actual Beatle in just other areas that aren't under pressure. We do have all of the villagers now coming out to the lumber camp because that's the only thing that's safe. And that's something that Orange, you might be able to just think about here too. Just keeping eyes on every gather point so that you know exactly where each where the action is.
Yeah, because again, he could have got a building. Yeah, like right there, he's getting a barracks up right there, and you can see it right away.
We've got that crossbowman coming in. Castle Age upgrades on the way. Siege workshop as well. Okay, good timing on that. No, what is it, Bodkin arrow and second archer armor tiered just yet. But looks like we're a little low on the gold front for that stuff. Yeah, you haven't really needed to reinforce here because there's not much of a fight going on. But definitely something to think about there.
Yeah, definitely.
We have one farm coming down. Actual Beetle has actually not been gathering food, but also hasn't spent any food in the last 10 minutes either. So I don't know why that is, but I guess the units that he's making are archers and skirmishers. So archers obviously just cost gold and food, or gold and wood. And we have a forward castle drop on the choke point coming through for Wolf of the North.
Yeah,
this could end the game. If it isn't over already.
It isn't over already. I could have thrown another village or two on there to speed it up, but felt confident enough, it would have been fine. To make the one thing I actually couldn't figure out for whatever reason, I didn't do. The Britain does not have access to the trebuchets because there was no.
Trebuchets are a bit of an odd duck. Most siege is created in the siege workshops. You got rams, mangonels, arbalists, cannons, but trebuchets are built in the castle. So it's kind of an interesting.
I was looking at
thing there.
I was looking at
believe they also are only available in Imperial. So a lot of times people will rush Imperial as fast as they can in order to get access to trebuchets in a defensive face-off.
That's why I couldn't get to the trebs. I was trying to figure out why I couldn't build them.
Yeah.
I was like, where are my trebuchets?
I like this tower in the middle here. Really lets you know exactly what's going on. I still would have liked to see like a palisade wall across there so that the enemy can't just raid forward and gain a foothold or a way back in. A lot of times if you're in the position that Actual Beatle is, especially in Age 4, I hear this a lot from Age 4 commentary. If you're in this position, one of the only ways to come back from this is to raid the enemy in return. So you'll see scouts or a fast unit being made like on the flank, that you'll then move into their eco and try to force the action back into their base so that you get a bit of breathing room and then you can come back from that. Beastie Cutie, incidentally, is very good at that. This castle is now up. You got longbows, you're looking for the trebs, but unfortunately they're only available in Imperial Age.
But
these longbows with their 14 range? Yeah, 12 range? Not sure. I guess we'll look at it now that we have one out. Range? 8. I guess they take some upgrades to get really going. Gonna be able to reach into that eco more effectively. And really we're just looking for some siege to finish this off, or for Actual Beatle to just give in.
Something I should have been doing was I don't think I had a market up, so I could have been selling some of that food that I had in order to get some money for wood or other resources.
Yeah, sometimes you think like, building a market, oh, that feels bad, I don't want to have to trade. I just want to balance my economy preemptively so that I don't have to waste the trade resources. But it really does just help in general, like to have a market you can really even things out and get what you need quickly.
I'm swimming in food right now, so it's
Another thing that I'd like to see here is another town center, or maybe 2 more town centers, just to really snowball your lead here.
I think if you look on that open portion on the right side, I think I have a unit down there. I think go to the right a little bit more.
Oh, like the bottom right? Down here?
Keep going right. Keep going right.
Okay.
I think I thought I had a unit over there. Oh, maybe I didn't have a unit. I think I was going to try sending a unit, but I just don't think it happened.
Sure. I mean, that's alright. A lot of times, I think town centers cost stone and food.
Again, I'm not hurting those. I think I do end up getting a market up.
So a lot of times people will just take their stone villagers and build the mining camp with that, or the town center with that. We're moving in fully under the town center now. We've had enough. Orange has had enough. Wants to end this game as soon as possible. We've taken out 57 units now from blue and lost 11. And that's game. Actual Beatle says, enough. I won't have it anymore. I'm done. So with that, we're going back to the bracket again. We've sort of spoiled this after the end of last game, but with that victory, Wolf of the North takes match 3-2-0, moves up to face against Seed 3 Nut. That's going to be very interesting. I think maybe we underestimated Wolf of the North here. I like to hear some of the inner thoughts. There's a lot of consideration going on, and
yeah, definitely.
You're definitely one of the players in this tournament that is taking it pretty seriously. So I love.
I'd say moderately seriously, but I definitely had to work for that one. I think that was good practice in regards to microing and really just stressing the importance of scouting, because again, he got more of those archer. He got more of his units up than I thought at first. And if I didn't, and if I, again, if I didn't have information on that, then I probably wouldn't have been as prepared. But there are definitely things that I cannot do in the next game. There are things that I have to be very careful for, that I have to be sure that I don't make mistakes in regards to making sure there's no idle villager time, making sure that I'm managing the resources well, and that I'm actually queuing units, because again, and making sure that I'm actually spending those resources. Because
Yeah,
again,
it's a lot to keep in mind.
it is. There's a lot to keep in mind. There's a lot to have to balance, and it's daunting. And again, there were mistakes that I made that I cannot do against the other players that I'm probably going to be facing further down the line.
Sure, for sure.
So I'm going to have to definitely be a bit more on it than I was with this game.
Humble victory.